Speaking of killing somebody, Boeing, huh? Not a great year for Boeing. They haven't killed anybody quite yet when it comes to this astronaut situation, but this is pretty bad.
Yeah, this Boeing, I don't know if you guys have been following this Boeing spacecraft. It's a Starliner spacecraft that went up into space a couple months ago, maybe a month ago.
ISS, yeah.
I think it was in June, actually, so a couple months ago. This is from the New York Times. As of like 3 days ago, the situation seems to have gotten worse, and there's 2 astronauts up there right now. And this is what Kenneth Chang of the New York Times wrote. For weeks, NASA has downplayed problems experienced by Starliner, a Boeing spacecraft that took 2 astronauts to the ISS in June. But on Wednesday, NASA officials admitted the issues might be more serious than first thought, and the astronauts might not return on the Boeing vehicle after all. The agency is exploring backup options for the astronauts to instead hitch a ride back to Earth on a spacecraft built by Boeing's competitor, SpaceX. The astronauts' stay in orbit, which was supposed to be as short as 8 days, could be extended into next year.
To February.
Dog, ain't nobody trying to be up in space for like 8 months or whatever. Or 6 months.
It depends on your relationship with your family, I guess.
Look, there's a lot of other places I can go that's not space.
This is going to ruin the tour. What tour? The 3-hour tour.
The space tour.
This is, yeah.
The literal world tour.
Yeah, they were going to be there for 8 days, and then February. I don't know how one prepares for that, but Mike Fuentes, which is where I get a lot of my information from, says like one of the astronauts oddly sounds kind of psyched about it.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I hope that they're not like super depressed about it. I know this is probably something that they prep for in case something does go wrong, but this is also a huge issue for Boeing, which is now apparently they've spent $1.5 billion on this, and they're writing off another $125 million of unplanned costs spent on this program.
I just hate the fact that these guys are going to get saved by Elon Musk and SpaceX. It sucks.
He's got to do it.
Well, nothing has happened yet, so we can't celebrate.
But also, Roy, it's like almost like, yo, I want USA to win gold, but does that mean I have to root for Noah Lyles?
So how long was the first original mission supposed to be?
It said 8 days.
8 days. So if they're going to be there 8 months, how do they have the food and like the sustenance? Do they like ship it in? Like, how does that work?
Well, initially the reports were that you can't stay docked for more than 45 days anyway. So I'm not an astronaut or a NASA scientist. I don't know. No, I don't know.
You think they went to Costco and got like the bucket of food that doesn't?
I'm sure. I think they went. Yeah, they went to Costco. They got the $80 bucket. They took it up there with them. So I think
I was looking for mine at my local Costco, and they must have gotten all the ones at my local Costco because there's none there.
I just love the idea of that conversation. Like, hey guys, yeah, this is Houston. Like, so it's gonna take months. Sorry, you said eight what? 8. No, I didn't quite catch that. Eight what?
What was that, Capcom?
Months. Months of what?
And NASA and Boeing apparently are adamant that they're not stranded. They're just like, they're not stranded.
That's what they would say if they were stranded, which makes me worried.
How would you describe it? It's not like they can go outside for a walk.
If someone tells me you're going to be there about a week.
Well, they actually could go outside for a walk. There's a spacewalk.
Do you trust it? Would you do a spacewalk if you're already up there?
Well, the ISS, as I understand it, needed a lot of upkeep. So there's a real chance to spin this into a positive.
Well, there are people that stay up there for months at a time. So it is stocked for a certain amount of astronauts.
How weird must those people
be? It's a little different when you're going there.
When you know you're staying.
Yeah, I'm going there for a long stay versus like, oh, this is cool.
Wasn't there just like a weird like Russian dude that was on the ISS that had been there for a while?
No, that's
a movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love when we do these segments too, because there's like a total like NASA expert that listens to this show.
Oh, that dork.
Mike.
And they're like furiously tweeting at us like,
you
idiot.
You guys don't understand.
There's 75 years worth of food on the International Space Station, you morons.
Yes, there's Tang from like the 60s up there.
Still good, by the way.
Tang was never good.
Oh, I'm saying it's still good. You can still drink it because it's up there.
Okay, yeah.
The expiration dates are different. It's like
what if there's
military time?
An interstellar situation where they come back and like their children are all
We're all super
now.
old.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was explaining Interstellar to our team 2 mornings ago because I forget who. Someone said they hadn't seen it
Lewis
yet.
had never seen it.
And I was like, all right, let me tell you about Interstellar. So Matthew McConaughey and Timothy Chalamet is a little baby, and then he goes to space, and then he turns into Casey Affleck. You will not believe what happens next.
I saw it start to finish for the first time last week.
Really?
Yeah. I had only seen like bits and pieces. And I'm a big Nolan guy, and it's just one of those movies that I
Wait,
never
you've
got
never
around
seen
to.
it before?
I had never seen it start
What?
to finish. I'd only seen it in parts. And I missed a lot. Apparently, I didn't see a lot of the parts. Tears were streaming down my face.
Which random parts have you seen? That's a better game.
You know, like when they're when that drone is like flying over them, and I'd seen that part.
It's like the
before.
first act.
I don't know, like you catch bits and pieces. I don't know.
You saw the parts where they were still on Earth?
I'm not here to relitigate the past and apologize for not seeing it. I saw it last week. Okay, tears were streaming down my face though, because it's like a real good girl dad movie, I guess, and my heart was breaking.
I feel like Mike just saw the parts that had the music
Yeah.
that everyone uses.
The cornfield chase song.
Yeah, I was familiar with the memes that came from it, but no, incredible movie. I think it might be Nolan's best.
I think it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But it's just surprising to me that was what you saw, because if you saw it in theaters when it came out, there is a twist in the middle of the movie.
I think we can break it.
Are we allowed to?
It's
I'm
10 years
surprised
old.
that wasn't the scene that you had only seen, because that was the big holy Matt Damon.
But
I was surprised. I didn't see Matt Damon in it. I was like, oh, he's in this. Cool.
Good secret.
and then he's an asshole. Like, oh man.
Oh my God, he's evil.
Yeah, that sucked. It's getting re-released in theaters for the 10-year
I'm
anniversary.
not
heard.
falling for that.
Really?
I'm not.
I like doing that.
Oh, it's gonna get. Let me guess. It's gonna get re-released in 70mm IMAX.
I didn't experience it that way, so I saw it on my home screen, which is pretty solid.
I'm just saying, when they say we're gonna re-release it and it's Christopher Nolan, I guarantee they're gonna try and tell me that I need to watch it in 70mm IMAX, because that's the
4DX.
I don't. There is one element that you're missing here, that I don't think that you're applying, which
that?
actually says more about you and good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of people that still listen to the Led Zeppelin laser shows for reasons. There's going to be people going to the movie theater tripping balls.
My life as I know it is about to drastically change forever. And the reason I say that, as many of you know, I'm going to be a father coming up in December to a baby girl, and it's crazy, and I can't believe it. And a lot of my life is going to change, but there's one thing in my life that's going to be constant. And since 1975, this original light beer has been a constant, a mainstay for the entire planet. And it's going to continue to be a mainstay for me. It's Miller Lite. They keep it simple. Undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. It's the beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters most. It's a light beer that actually tastes like beer. You don't have to choose what's best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling, and it tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. I will, when my daughter's born, with a tall, cold glass of Miller Lite. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.